we have a story about bipartisanship here for you. So the establishment media is really going to get a boner about this one. All 100 senators sign a letter asking for equal treatment of Israel at the UN. Wow. Leave Israel alone. You're so mean to Israel. Why won't you let them do apartheid and oppression and occupation and illegal settlements in peace? Okay, so Adam Johnson of Fairness and Accuracy in Reporting, had some interesting stuff to say about this here. He said, before last December, the last UN Security Council resolution critical of Israel on Palestine to pass was in 2002. These people live in a fantasy world. Then he says, here's a statistical review of Security Council activities in 2006 for those claiming the UN is obsessed with Israel. And then it shows you there the Security Council activities have mostly been against North Korea, Mali, Libya, South Sudan, Somalia, Syria, and everything else there. See, everything else is much smaller. That means the Security Council activities have not been about them. And I don't even fucking see Israel there. I don't know if you guys see them, but so for actual votes that matter, it's rarely brought up at all. And there's an occupation going on and illegal settlements going on. And then he also says, when people complain about UN anti-Israel bias, they mean the General Assembly, which passes token resolutions to counter U.S. automatic veto on Security Council. Oh, I have to admit, guys, I didn't even know that. But isn't that a handy little piece of information to have? So in other words, it's kabuki theater. So they say in the General Assembly, so you pass things that have no teeth at all. It's not a policy in any serious way. Yes, Israel should maybe stop doing illegal occupation. By the way, scandalous that you're telling them to follow the law. That's so wrong. You shouldn't do that. But it just toothless, hey, maybe you could follow international law? People go, oh, you're targeting Israel. You're anti-Semites. Anti-Semitism, by the way, that's really at the core of it. In the letter that these 100 senators signed, Bernie, what the fuck are you doing? 100 senators signed it. That's in the letter. The letter says, witch hunt against Israel, anti-Israel bias, given legitimacy to, this is just stealth of BDS. They reference a report in there that was done by the UN, which spoke about illegal occupation, and they were forced to pull that report, the UN was, because the US applied pressure and was like, how dare you remove that report? They praised that in the letter. The report was, also talking about BDS, Boycott, Divestment, and Sanctions Movement, which, by the way, is working to put economic pressure on them. And, you have businesses that are beyond the 1967 borders. They say, look, we're gonna crack down on those businesses, do boycotts, divestments, and sanctions. And it's working. A lot of businesses have had to leave the West Bank as a result of that. So, but they call that out as anti-Semitism. Excuse you? Yes, and criticizing Saudi Arabia is Islamophobia. Criticizing Salafism and Wahhabism and Al-Qaeda and ISIS, you hate all Muslims if you do that. We're done with these sick games. Yes, being against Hillary Clinton is, you're sexist. Being against Obama on an issue means you're racist. Yes, being for boycotts, divestments, and sanctions to end fucking apartheid and illegal settlements and brazen violations of international law, anti-Semitism. It's anti-Semitism. Look at this gross, and 100 senators, all the senators said, yeah, I'm going to sign on to that. Shame on all of you. Bernie, fucking shame on you, man. You're supposed to be better than this. And your rhetoric on Palestine on the campaign trail was a lot better than anybody else I've heard talk about, any politician I've heard talk about this issue in the United States of America. So, but now, let me agree with fucking Mitch McConnell and people like that to smear BDS supporters who are just trying to end fucking modern day apartheid and give equal rights to Palestinians, smear them as anti-Semites and say, oh, Israel, oh, woe is them. I feel so bad. They're so oppressed. Israel is so oppressed. There's such bigotry against Israel. Why won't you just let them do apartheid and occupation and illegal settlements in peace? How dare you? This is fucking grotesque, man. This is really sick. You want bipartisanship? There's your bipartisanship. Both parties agree to idiotic shit. Idiotic shit.